What if everything you've been struggling with, self-sabotage, chronic stress, anxiety, emotional pain, wasn't a flaw, but a message calling you back to your true self? Welcome to Self-Healing Codes with Dr. Traci, where we uncover the hidden causes of spiritual disconnection and guide you home to yourself. Traci is a doctor of metaphysical psychology, spiritual mentor, energy healer, and your transformational guide. This show isn't just self-help, it's a sacred space to break free from the unseen forces keeping you stuck. You'll learn to decode the messages from your body, release fear, and activate your inner power. Healing requires action, and you don't have to do it alone. Get ready, because Self-Healing Codes starts now.
Good, beautiful day, and welcome. I'm Traci, your doctor of metaphysical psychology, and today our self-healing code is going to be freedom. Let me talk about freedom first as a foundational and fundamental human right. The self-healing codes are keys, and they act like words. These words are designed to unlock the doors and the cages that the human mind has created. Our ego's purpose is to navigate the outside world, whereas our soul's purpose is to be free, to experience being human in a unique way. This is part of our divine assignment. We have been given the absolute right to sovereignty. Last week, our self-healing code was sovereignty. And this opens up a space for freedom to line our biofields. We each have we have many, but our four main biofields that require our attention as human beings include our spiritual biofield, where our direct channel to the divine intelligence opens to receive these self-healing codes, opens to receive metaphysical messages, and is open to remind soul why we're here. This is what I call our divine assignment. This all resides within our spiritual biofield. But we also have a mental biofield where our ego energy navigates the outside world. It creates ways to protect us. And over the years, filters have been created that literally create cage-like energy where we get stuck in a trauma. In metaphysical psychology, we believe that there are 22 traumas. I call these our fear stories. They are the generational traumas that create these cages in our mind. When we're locked in a mental cage, it blocks the ability for soul and ego to be in their wholeness, the intended way in which Source designed our ability in this physical body to experience our own thoughts, our own feelings. This mental biofield is where we're going to be downloading the self-healing code of freedom today. But we also have an emotional bioenergetic field. This is our soul's sacred domain. It's through our feelings that we are aware of whether we are in alignment or out of alignment with our divine assignment. In my 24-week signature program called Soul Healing Protocol, I channel for you the 11 pieces of your unique divine assignment map, your 3 divine assignment pieces, how you said you would create your reality when you chose to come to this space and time, what that reality feels like when you are in alignment, and your navigation type, who you said you would be in order to fulfill the promise you made to Source. In Soul Healing Protocol, we literally channel that promise. It's called your power. But because we live under the natural law of polarity, we also channel its opposite. Love is our positive polarity, and our power is the seat of that love. Fear is our negative polarity, and that is the seat of our trigger. In any given moment, when we are in alignment with our divine assignment, we are in a state of freedom. And that freedom activates the neutral energy of our emotional bioenergetic field. When we're not in alignment and ego has taken over, or generational traumas are activated, we are in fear. And so in Soul Healing Protocol, I share with you your 3 fear stories: your biological mothers up to 12 generations of trauma, your biological fathers up to 12 generations of trauma, and your own womb trauma, the story you created in the womb from all of the information of generations of trauma, but the experience of becoming human, spirit energy, having a human experience. In Soul Healing Protocol, we also channel how your unique power is reflected in the 3 love stories. These 11 pieces are what your soul resonates with, looks for in other people, places, things, and scenes, situations, and scenarios. The challenge is when your mental bioenergetic field is leaking and freedom is not a vibration in your biofield, soul is unable to receive the channeled wisdom from divine. So we are in 3 of those 4 biofields: your spiritual biofield, where divine intelligence is channeled; your mental biofield, where ego navigates the outside world; your emotional biofield, where soul aligns to your divine assignment; and finally, your physical bioenergetic field, where you experience through this incredible vessel called your body, your divine assignment. In the self-healing code of freedom, we activate every cell in the being to remember who we are and why we're here. And as those cells align, they nurture your muscles, your tissues, your bones. They nurture your blood. And in your blood is ancestral wisdom, which in every given moment, with your permission, is being channeled into your field. So under the natural law of correspondence, from below, Mother Earth is channeling our divine wisdom, gifted by our ancestors, into our physical experience. And at the exact same time as above, divine intelligence is channeling a remembering of our divine assignment. Each of these land in the most sacred of all centers, our heart center. Heart holds the space for mind to receive from divine, and heart holds the space for biome, womb energy, to receive from below. And so I've chose freedom today after sovereignty because it holds one of the most valuable foundational sacred codes ever. In metaphysical psychology, freedom is one of the power energies. And I want to read to you what freedom means. Now, keep in mind, as I read this description, the language may seem odd because there are thousands and thousands and thousands of years of how mystics bring this information to the surface. So let me read to you the traditional metaphysical and mystical offering of freedom. Freedom is the lack of any measure of confinement in satisfying one's values, in living one's life in alignment with their unique style and alignment. Freedom is your right as a spirit being having a human experience. And so today, as we go into our treatment, which is always the last part of this session, I want you to imagine that as you receive the freedom, first in pineal, then heart, and then biome, I'm also doing a trauma clearing. This key code is unlocking the cage that is in your mind that says you have no right to freedom. This is based on your own habits, your own beliefs, your own traumas. But the cage is also created by the collective beliefs, the rules, or what Vishen Lakhiani calls the brules, the bullshit rules that don't serve us. These rules cannot control us when we breathe in, accept, and receive freedom as part of our foundation. The challenge with freedom is that it's not actually a state. It is never going to be experienced on the outside if it is not first experienced on the inside. And this is how the collective corruption has been able to take place. Because we see a lack of freedom, we see where the measures of confinement are, and with or without our awareness, we agree to them. And that, in fact, creates the cage itself. And it is often our own self, our own human self, that locks the door behind us. And so today, I want to release you from this energetic prison and all of the conditions that it has created. Is this going to be resolved in one session? No, not likely. But it is the opening. And with this opening and with the ability to step into freedom, you're going to find the coincidences, the scenes, the situations, the scenarios, the people, places, and things that you're attracted to, that are attracted to you, that begin to lead you back to your true and your authentic self. That will begin to show you the ways to actively engage in self-love that aren't necessarily external. All of this work happens internally. And so I want to share with you the 22 traumas that in metaphysical psychology we regard as generational trauma. And as a seer, I have the ability to go into your bioenergetic field, witness this energy in its true form, the way it wants to be revealed. Often this is referred to as parts work. I meet your part, not to work on them, but in partnership, to share with you its true name. When we know something's true name, we create a relationship, a partnership, instead of a destruction or a healing or a forcing of energetic exchange. And my gift is the ability to, through psychic surgery, remove the layers of rot that part needs in order for you to acknowledge, heal, and then initiate it, not as shame, not as a punishment, but as a partner in your support in walking this path. So again, as I mentioned, there are 22 traumas. When we know their true name, we are able to come into partnership. Here's the challenge. Many people decide from their mind, where all the filters are, what their trauma is. And they work on that trauma. But the root, the truth of that trauma is laughing in an evil way. They don't even know my name. They're never going to find me. For example, let me share this. Let's imagine that you and I spend a day together. We are no longer strangers to one another. We are acquaintances, or even more, we've started a relationship. And a couple weeks later, you see me in the grocery store. You're with your best friend and you're like, oh, that's who I was telling you about. And you yell out, Stacy, Stacy. And I don't turn. I walk on by and you're ticked off. And you turn to your friend and you're like, wow, she's not who I thought she was. And your friend nudges you and says, her name isn't Stacy. It's Traci. If you call me by a name that is not mine, I will not recognize that you're speaking to me. And this is true of these traumas. So really quickly, because there's a lot, I'm going to share with you the 22 traumas. These are the ways in which our parts were created. And these are the ways that we create partnership with those parts. And it all starts with unlocking the cage to freedom. The first is abandonment. The second is betrayal. The third is bitterness. The fourth is control. The fifth is criticism and judgment. Yes, that's a trauma. The sixth is disillusionment, disguised often as disappointment. Then it's envy. There's a gender energy conflict. This is when you have a conflict with your own first divine assignment. You are not showing up in your truth. There's grief and sadness. There's guilt and blame. There's having to please others at your own expense. There is humiliation, jealousy, rejection, resentment, self-esteem. Self-esteem shows up in 12 different ways. It's a significant human trauma. Then we have shame, vengeance, emotional incompetence. These are the ways that being in a state where freedom is not a fundamental right within your biofield, within your spiritual, mental, emotional, or physical truth, you are controlled and compelled by the outside world. Freedom is energy first. We have to have that freedom within our own self. That energy resonates outside of these biofields and around us, and we attune to that energy. So what we'd like to do today, and I apologize, I didn't put my watch on, so I'm not paying attention to the time. What we want to do today is we want to download the self-healing codes of freedom into your bioenergetic field. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to ask you to do a little bit of breath work before we get started. We are literally making space in each of those biofields before we activate the sacred centers. And so let's get started by finding a comfortable position where your ankles and your knees are unbound. We always unlock the root energy. The wider you can spread your legs, which is why sitting cross-legged in meditation is so empowering. The wider you can spread your legs, the deeper the channel of ancestral wisdom that comes up into the womb, the sacral belly, or the biome. So when you find that comfortable position, make sure that your spine is as straight as possible. Your legs are spread as wide as is comfortable. And I will ask you to close your eyes. If you're called to, please place your hands palms facing up. This indicates that you're willing to receive the energy that I'm going to transmit out into the energetic field. With your eyes closed, we're going to begin with some breath work. It's a deep inhalation through the nose quite quickly, and a deep exhalation through the mouth also quickly. I'll do it dramatically so that you can witness it. You may find that a rolling motion of your body begins. Move as quickly or as slowly as you would like, staying in that breath as we move through the download. You're inhaling into your third eye, located at the center of your forehead, in through the nose, out through the mouth. As an energy worker, I'm inviting you to open your field, the space that expands around you. And I ask, will you allow me to witness your truth as it wishes to be revealed? And in giving that consent, reactivate your biofield by channeling divine wisdom from your Akashic record and by channeling ancestral wisdom from the core of Mother Earth. As you continue to breathe into that third eye, it activates. It begins to cleanse, clear, and purify your ego mind, releasing all of the filters that have been created that don't serve you, that aren't in alignment with your truth. And in this moment, we ask Source to download the true frequency and vibration of freedom into your mind's eye. As an energy worker, I ask that not only does this begin to decalcify your pineal, but create an active tempo, a resonance, a sacred sound that allows the pineal to be free, to continue to receive, channeling freedom into every cell of your being, allowing it to run through your blood system. And as each filter begins to dissolve, the habits, the beliefs, the experiences as examples begin to melt away. And it is in this moment that freedom has been received by the ego mind. Continuing that breath, inhaling and exhaling. Drop your imagination into the center of your chest. And it is here we ask Source to channel from your Akashic records the true frequency and vibration of freedom, exactly as it was defined before you chose to come to this space and time. What freedom looks and feels like to you in alignment with your divine assignment. And this unlocks the cage around your heart, the ways in which soul has been confined. And you breathe that freedom into every cell in your being. As you continue to breathe in and out, this breath work calls all parts that have been disintegrated from your being into your awareness, announcing that you are taking back freedom as a sovereign right. And this creates a circuit between your heart and your pineal. This circular energetic motion begins to clear the collective path that has confined you in the past. And you are free. On an exhalation, still breathing in and out, using the breath work to activate every cell in your body, drop your awareness into your biome, just below your belly button. And here, as an energy worker, I'm asking Source to channel into this sacred center, your body's brain, the true frequency and vibration of freedom. freedom in the body, freedom from annoyances, pain, discomfort, and disease, freedom from the collective energy pushing in on you. And in this moment, as we unlock the doors to this cage and your sovereign right of freedom begins to embody your whole experience, you are free. And it's in this moment, from heart to biome, a circuit is created. These lower energies have activated freedom in your life on this timeline. And as you sit in this energy, I ask for permission from you to have Mother Earth and Source hold you in this energy for as long as you need it. Simply closing your eyes, placing your hands on your heart, and asking for freedom. You shall receive the internal experience. And the more that this internal experience moves through your biofields, there is no choice under the natural laws other than what you are asking for. This opens the gates to walk your true path, to remember who you are as a spirit energy and why you've come here. On your next inhalation, take a very slow, deep inhale through your nose, holding it at the top of your head, and exhaling through your mouth. With your eyes still closed, I'm going to ask you to move your body in any way that you need to release my energy from yours, but to remain in the channel of divine source. Freedom. If today's session has moved something in you, I invite you to reach out to me, to connect with me. If you have any questions, concerns, or ideas, you'll find me in the Facebook group called Self-Healing Codes with Dr. Traci. If you are ready to remember your divine assignment, I invite you to do your soul reveal reading, or to take the gigantic and compelling step into the soul healing protocol. I am grateful to have had this time with you today, and I look forward to continuing to offer you self-healing codes that activate your remembering that you are spirit energy having a human experience. I'm Traci, your doctor of metaphysical psychology, and I'm looking forward to meeting you. Have a beautiful week.
You've been listening to the Self-Healing Codes with Dr. Traci on Transformation Talk Radio. Join Dr. Traci every first and third Friday at 9:30 Pacific for this portal of transformation, where truth is spoken, healing is activated, and souls remember who they truly are. Don't forget to subscribe and connect to her on Facebook at The Self-Healing Codes with Dr. Traci. Ready to take the next step? Explore healing sessions, activations, certifications, and her daily spiritual practice membership at tracitrimble.ca. Heal, remember, rise. Your journey starts now.